What happens when a son surprises the man who taught him everything, not just about football, but about life? That's exactly what fans witnessed when Shedeur Sanders showed up, completely unannounced, to surprise his father, Coach Prime, the one and only Deion Sanders, at Colorado's homecoming. What was supposed to be a quiet weekend instantly turned into one of the most heartfelt, talked-about moments in college football. Earlier in the week, reports said Shadur wouldn't attend. He was supposedly too busy, too focused, too far away to make the trip. Even Deion believed it. But then, out of nowhere, his son appeared, calm, smiling, and ready to catch his father off guard. Cameras rolled as Deion's face lit up with shock, confusion, and then pure joy. "Why are you here?" he asked. It was just a proud dad seeing his boy walk through the door. The clip went viral almost instantly. Millions of views, thousands of comments, fans calling it the most wholesome thing online. But beyond the laughter and the hugs, there was something deeper in that moment. It wasn't just a father and son reconnecting. It was a reminder of how much heart still lives inside the game. Because when you strip away the fame, the critics, and the pressure, what's left is family. And for Deion and Shadur, that bond is unshakable. This wasn't a publicity stunt or a headline grab. It was real. The same Shadur who's been battling pressure, expectations, and endless comparisons to his legendary dad chose to show up. Not as a quarterback, but as a son. And Deion's reaction said it all. Pride, relief, and love wrapped into one unforgettable moment. Fans across the country felt it too. For a split second, everyone forgot about stats, rankings, and headlines. They saw something genuine, something we don't see enough in sports. Because before the stadium lights and game day hype, there's a story that runs deeper, one of faith, family, and loyalty. And this moment between Shadur and Coach Prime just reminded the world what that really looks like. Colorado's homecoming weekend was supposed to be business as usual. The marching bands, the fans, the nostalgia. But no one, not even Deion Sanders himself, saw what was coming next. Out of nowhere, Shedeur Sanders, his son, his quarterback, his protege, appeared on the sidelines unannounced. What followed was pure emotion. Deion's face said it all. The disbelief, the laughter, the kind of joy that doesn't need words. "Why are you here?" he asked, half joking, half in awe. It was the rarest version of Coach Prime we ever see, the man behind the legend, the father behind the fame. For a moment, there was no spotlight, no cameras, no football politics, just family. The clip spread like wildfire online, racking up millions of views within hours. Fans couldn't get enough of the wholesome energy. A moment that felt real in a world where everything in sports seemed scripted. But beneath the smiles and hugs, there was more to this reunion. This wasn't just a random visit. It was Shadur showing up when his dad least expected it. A quiet message of love, loyalty, and connection. Because let's be honest, both men have been through storms lately. From critics questioning Deion's coaching approach to people doubting Shedur's leadership at the next level. Yet here they were, unbothered, laughing in the face of it all. It wasn't just a reunion, it was a reset. A reminder that through all the noise, some bonds can't be shaken. To most viewers, that clip of Shadur surprising Coach Prime looked like a heartwarming father-son moment. And it was. But for those who followed their story closely, it carried something deeper. Behind the laughter and playful teasing was a glimpse into the reality both men live with every single day. The weight of expectation, the pressure of legacy, and the constant scrutiny that comes with being a Sanders. Shadur isn't just any college quarterback. He's the son of one of the most iconic athletes in sports history. Every throw he makes, every game he plays, every word he says is dissected and compared to his father. For some, that's inspiration. For others, it's unfair. But what makes Shadur stand out is how he handles it with calm confidence and quiet discipline. Dion, on the other hand, carries his own set of burdens. As Coach Prime, he's built an empire out of charisma and results. But as a father, moments like this one remind him of what truly matters. When Shadur showed up, Dion wasn't thinking about playbooks or headlines. He was just a dad, overwhelmed by the presence of his son. A reminder that behind the fame and flash, family always comes first. That's what made this reunion so powerful. It wasn't about Colorado football or viral clips. It was about grounding. Two men with the world watching, reminding each other why they started this journey in the first place. Because once the cameras stop rolling, what remains isn't and painful. The rhythm vanished, the confidence wavered, and suddenly, the same team that once thrived under his leadership looked lost. The Buffaloes went from being one of the most talked about programs in college football to fighting to stay relevant. It wasn't just about losing a quarterback, it was about losing their identity. Shadur brought more than just stats. He brought composure, leadership, and belief. His ability to stay calm under pressure turned impossible drives into highlight reels. Without him, the offense struggled to find that same spark. The timing was off, the chemistry disconnected, and the energy that once filled the stadium began to fade. Even fans who doubted him before were forced to admit, Colorado without Shadur just wasn't the same. And Shedeur Sanders felt that loss too. As a coach, he could have, but as a father, watching the team falter without his son must have hit differently. The media started asking questions. Was the success really about the system, or was it Shedur's leadership holding it all together? This homecoming reunion, then, wasn't just emotional. It was symbolic. It reminded everyone how central Shadur was to Colorado's rise. His presence brought hope. His absence exposed cracks, and his return, even just for a moment, reignited belief. Because sometimes, one player doesn't just change the scoreboard, he changes the entire spirit of a team. The bond between Shedeur Sanders and Shedeur Sanders has always been more than just football. It's legacy in motion. From the moment Shadur first picked up a football, the world saw flashes, but what makes their story so captivating is how different their journeys actually are. Dion, known as Primetime, built his legacy on flash, swagger, and dominance. He was the showman, a once-in-a-generation athlete who made the spotlight his stage. Shadur, though, moves differently. His approach is quieter, more calculated, yet every bit as electric when the game's on the line. It's almost poetic, a son carrying the same fire but channeling it in his own way. And yet, the expectations are enormous. Being the son of Shedeur Sanders means every pass, every interview, every social media post is a comparison. But Shadur doesn't chase his father's shadow. He builds his own. That's what makes their relationship so powerful to watch. Dion's not just a coach. Moments like that surprise reunion remind us that beyond the fame, these two are just father and son, navigating the same dream from different angles. For Dion, it's about guiding the next generation. For Shadur, it's about proving he belongs at the top on his own terms. Together, they've become one of sport's most inspiring duos. Not because they're perfect, but because they're real. Their legacy isn't just written in wins or stats. It's written in how they lift each other up, even when the world tries to pull them down. When the clip of Shadur surprising Coach Prime hit the internet, it wasn't just another wholesome father-son video. It was a cultural moment. Within hours, it spread across social media, reaching millions who couldn't help but smile at the genuine emotion on Dion's face. It was raw, real, and refreshing, a rare glimpse of vulnerability from two men often seen as larger than life. But beyond the surface, this moment hit deeper because it reminded fans of what sports are truly about: connection. In a world of headlines, transfers, and constant media noise, The Sanders family brought everyone back to the heart of the game: love, loyalty, and unity. You could see it in Shedur's calm smile, in Deion's teary laughter, in the way they spoke to each other, not as coach and player, but as father and son who had been through everything together. For Deion, that surprise was more than a visit. It was a reminder that his impact as a father mattered just as much as his coaching record. And for Shadur, it was his way of saying, "I've got you." No words needed. Fans flooded the comments, calling it the most real thing they've seen in sports all year. Even critics who'd questioned Deion's methods couldn't deny it was about family. And that's why it went viral. Because no matter where you stand on the Sanders story, everyone understands what that moment felt like. It felt human. This moment between Shadur and Coach Prime might have looked simple, just a son showing up for his father. But in reality, it signaled something much bigger, the beginning of Shedur's next chapter. The cameras caught a hug, but what they really captured was a statement. Shadur is ready for whatever comes next. The whispers around him have been constant. Critics questioning whether he can translate his college dominance to the NFL. Doubters saying he's just riding his father's fame. But this moment cut through all that noise. It showed a young man grounded, self-aware, and fully aware of the expectations on his shoulders, yet unshaken by them. Deion's reaction said everything. His pride wasn't just in Shedur's talent, but in the man he's becoming. The kind of leader who doesn't need to boast, doesn't need to respond to critics. He lets his actions speak. And that's the quality that will carry Shadur far beyond Colorado. This reunion wasn't about nostalgia. It was a reminder that greatness runs deep when it's fueled by purpose. Shadur isn't just following in his father's footsteps. He's paving his own path. Whether his next step is in the NFL or beyond, moments like this show he's already mastered what so many athletes struggle with: staying true to himself when the world demands a performance. Because in the end, legacy isn't built on stats or highlight reels. It's built on moments like this: real, unfiltered, and unforgettable.